Hi and welcome or welcome back. My name is Tita and I am a knitter, knitwear designer and the owner of the Yarn Shop Yarn for All on Etsy. And this is my right now bi-weekly knitting podcast where I share a lot about what I'm currently designing, what I am working on, what I'm planning to work on, and also acquisitions. And today I will have one work in progress that I showed you last time, and actually two of those works in progresses, and they actually made some progress. And I also have two new cast-ons. I have acquisitions and some updates about my summer designs. So I will actually start with the updates. So I have been working on three different summer patterns that I was hoping to release this summer. Two of them were using summer in cashmere, one in a beautiful green color, one in white, and the third project was using the beautiful CAMISOLE wool cobweb merino lace yarn in a baby blue color. And although I made sufficient progress on all three of them, I realized that by now it's already June. So I would need maybe 1 or 2 more weeks to finish each of those patterns. So let's say end of June. Then I would need to give sufficient amount of time for the testers, which would be basically end of August when I could release any of these summer patterns. So I realized that probably nobody wanna knit at the end of the summer garments. So I decided that although I'm slowly working on those projects and I am finishing them up, I am definitely not releasing these summer patterns this year. I will finish them, I guess, this year, and I will put it up for test knit, I guess, in, I don't know, December or January. So the test knitters will have enough time to finish it up, and then I will decide if I release them April, May, or June next year, or May, June, and July. But I think April, May, and June sound reasonable, especially for the one that is using the cobweb merino on a very small needle size, because that will take the longest time to finish. So I'm not abandoning those projects, but I'm not gonna give you right now updates on them since I kind of put them aside and I will release them later. I will give you an update on it when I'm finishing them, and when I have my test knit calls, you will hear about them, but not really much until that. I'm not gonna bring them up, I think, as a work in progress unless they are really about to be done in an absolute final version, which won't be for a while, because I realized that I have to sort of manage my designing time a little bit better. So I actually I started to work on a few of my fall projects. There will be one fall project that I actually already have. That's my Leah hoodigan that is being test knitted. So that will be released in August. It is a really cool combination of a hoodie with a cardigan, and I'm having it test knitted as we speak. The yarn I used was a baby silk lace solid by CAMISOLE wool. It's a beautiful silk combo yarn. It held double, so that will be the pattern that I'm gonna release in August, because you will need some time to knit that up. I will kind of have an idea when my test knitters give me feedback of roughly how much time it took them to make it, but I think releasing it at the beginning of August will assure that by September, when there are cooler evenings when you're gonna need it, you actually will have this really cool hood again. So that is definitely the plan for August. Then I have a couple more plans. I bought beautiful yarn from I'm gonna put it up here from where, in two colorway, personal space for myself, and I think another colorway for my sister that I will put up right here for you to see. So I am designing for these yarns a beautiful sort of early fall sweater using a little bit of lace motif. I think the lace goes really well with this yarn. I will also remake this shirt using one of the yarns that I have in my shop. Because I kind of like to offer them together, so potentially you can buy the pattern and the yarn together, which is really nice. So I am working currently on the lace pattern, and I will show you probably how it's looking once I finalize the lace. As of now, I only have an idea about how the shirt exactly or sweater gonna exactly look like, and where the lace gonna be and how the sleeves are. So I have a very specific idea about that, but I don't know how long that will take me to design and then test knit. I am continuously, or I mean, I'm working on something else at the same time, which is in my first men sweater design that is using CAMISOLE, actually no, I think it's BC yarn. I'm gonna put it up here, baby alpaca yarn. I chose this very beautiful green colorway for my sample, and that will be my first men sweater long sleeve for the winter. I'm holding this yarn double. I think in the final version, I am still working on the single lace version of this, but I might just hold it double. So that is the second work in progress. The third work in progress, or I mean design plan in progress, is a long sleeve top using Fusion-C yarn that I'm gonna pop up here in this beautiful sort of dark purple-ish red, I don't know, wine red colorway for the winter. This is a very beautiful fuzzy yarn, as you can see. And the last one for the winter, I'm working on a beautiful holiday sweater that I'm making with two yarns. One that I bought on the Connecticut Wool Festival. I'm gonna pop up the colorway here. And the other colorway is this beautiful Fielder Mohair red yarn. I think it's perfect for the holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and all of that. So yeah, there are 4 works in progresses, and I realized I have to budget my time a little bit better if I want to release these patterns on time for people to be able to make it. So I have these, let's say the men's sweater, the 2 laces, and the third, so that these five works, that design works that I am currently working on. You will see it once I'm getting closer to be done. But until that, I will just show you my other works in progresses, which is basically things that I'm knitting from someone else. And let's start with the one that made the most progress, and this is the mesh sweater by Polar Strict that I purchased the pattern for on Etsy. And this is, sorry for the sound, this is a beautiful, clearly just mesh sweater. This is not the blocked version. And I am using CAMISOLE wool vegan cashmere yarn, which is a 100% cotton yarn, and it's called vegan cashmere because it is so soft, like sort of cashmere like soft, but it's not exactly cashmere soft. But I guess it is cashmere, referred to it as cashmere because it is relatively soft, and I can attest to that it is soft. I am using, I think, color 16, smoky blue. I'm kind of in my bluish greenish phase right now. And what I did was I think 2 weeks ago, I had a little bit done of one sleeve, and I finished the body and sort of the neckline, and I decided to go to a almost full length on the body and on the sleeves, and then block my sweater. I will pop up a photo here where I am blocking it. So I blocked the sweater because the pattern instruction said that the sweater will grow 4-5 centimeters in length on the body, and I think 3-4 centimeters in length on the sleeve when you block it. So I didn't want to make anything too long, and also I have a little bit less than the yarn required. I only had 9 balls of this vegan cashmere smoky blue colorway, and I want to make sure that that is enough. So as you can see, I have more than a half a ball here, some of my yarns hanging right here, and I think I have a little bit more somewhere else. So I have less than a ball left, but now that I blocked it, it actually did grow. I think I had about 3 centimeters on the sleeve and about 2.5 centimeters growth on the body. So I am very satisfied with the body length. And now I am about to put up a 3 centimeter, I think it's a 3 centimeter hem, and that's gonna be it for the body. And on the sleeves, it is actually a little bit above my watch as of now, so I want it a lot longer. So I'm adding a total of 8 centimeters, I believe, 5 centimeters in this in this lace pattern, and the 3 centimeter hem, because I want it to hit me somewhere right by my finger. I kind of like it that it goes over my hand a little bit more, while the sweater is relatively on the cropped side. I kind of like that the sleeve overhangs and covers my wrist and watch and basically comes down until my knuckles. And I do believe I have enough yarn to do that. Exactly. So I am not too far off from the sleeves. As I said, 5 centimeters of lace pattern and 3 centimeters of hem, and or the cuff, and just the hemline on the body on the bottom, and then the sweater is actually done. Overall, the pattern is very clearly written, very easy to sort of memorize the lace pattern, very straightforward. As you see, this is the front, and sorry for the sound, and the back has this beautiful sort of shoulder detail that goes also right here by the sleeve. And I don't know how much I can show it exactly, but it goes down on the side of the body as well. And that's the only little motif that actually breaks the pattern. So I picked this because it was relatively simple. I kind of like this shoulder detail, and right here by the arms and on the side, and that's it. And obviously the collar and the sort of cuffs and the hem, but that's about it. Everything else is this very simple lace repeat. I am really happy with the way the sweater looks. I tried it on, and I am going to be able to wear it with just a bra underneath, a nude color bra underneath, so I am really happy. I think my gauge is tighter than recommended, so the lace pattern isn't as sort of large as I guess in some of the pictures that people have online. So I guess my gauge is tighter, so the lace is a little bit less gappy or gapey, so I can actually wear this just with the bra. I am, as I said, using CAMISOLE vegan cashmere, which is one of the recommended yarns. That was one of the reasons that made me decide for this pattern as opposed to another pattern that I was looking at. And as I mentioned a million times before, blue is my favorite color, and I really like this grayish toned blue, which is called, as I said, smoky blue, but I think it is a really beautiful color alone as well, and I think it suits me really well. So I am very happy. As I said, the pattern is easy to do, very straightforward, and after blocking, the yarn still looks beautiful. The stitch definition is absolutely nice. you can see the color or the lace pattern. So I am not far off of finishing this sweater. As I said, 8 centimeters on the sleeve and 3 centimeters on the body. So I am pretty sure this will be a finished object within 2 weeks. And I will let you know if this yarn and the little one that I have left was enough to actually finish it for the desired length, or I had to go a little bit shorter on the sleeves. I don't know it yet, but obviously I'm gonna finish the hem of the body first, because I want to have that for to be 3 centimeters long, and if the sleeve just gets exactly wrist length, that will be fine. As I said, I prefer 8 centimeters to my knuckles. If I have enough yarn, that will be that long. If not, I definitely have enough yarn to finish it up here, as I said, because right now it reaches exactly to the bottom of my watch. So I am about 5 centimeters off. 3 of that is a hem, so maybe 2 laces, maybe something, yeah, roughly about 2 rows of lace, and then a 3 centimeter hem. So I am sure I am good with this messy bunch. Sorry, it's like 3 ends, and a little bit of cat hair, and a little bit of extra yarn that I have. So I am sure I will have enough to finish. Whether or not I reach the desired like cuff length or whatever sleeve length, I am not sure, but I'm pretty hopeful about that. And as I said, I love the pattern. Very simple, very straightforward, and also very affordable on Etsy. I will obviously pop up all the yarn and patterns and whatnot I'm talking about in the description, so it's going to be easy for you to access and sort of see what I'm talking about exactly. So that's about my mesh sweater in this beautiful smoky blue colorway. Now my second work in progress that you saw last week is a sweater from this Pompon magazine, the last physical issue of the magazine, and it is the coverlet by Olivia Glennon. I am popping up a photo here so you can see it, but it's from this physical issue that I purchased a while back. And I am making this sweater for my cousin for her birthday. I don't have to give it to her until August, end of August, so I have plenty of time to work on it. And last week I just begun to do the color work, and yes, so as you see, this is a color work pattern that is worked bottom up, which I have no problems with. When I'm designing, I design most of my things bottom up. Now I'm designing some things top down as well, because I realized that many people like top down, but certain ways, for certain things, it doesn't matter to me if it's bottom up or top down. So in any case, this coverlet is a bottom up sweater. I decided not to do the split hem that the sweater has, so I just cast it on the amount of stitches that you need if you are not doing the split hem version. And last week I just did like 1 row of the color work, and my plan was to finish the 26 row repeat of the color work and show it to you and decide whether or not that is visible, and whether or not that's something what I want to do. But as I was working on it, I realized that I am not sure if I actually like this at all, and I will show you why. So I finished, I think, 5 or 6 rows, and I realized that the color works looks teeny tiny, and to be honest, my stitch gauge is on, but my row gauge is off. My row gauge is much tighter than it's called for. So I feel that my pattern looks teeny tiny and doesn't look as like big and like, I don't know, it doesn't look like the one on the picture. And I'll show you up close what I'm talking about. So this is all I have of the pattern. Let me see if I can show. And if you can see, like, my stitches are teeny tiny, and so is the gray pieces, and I feel it is so small that somehow I think, I mean, I don't think you can even see it from that far, I will see it when I am editing this, how good this comes out. But you see, it's like very, very small. So you can add it in the comment section of your thoughts, but I'm thinking to go back until the pearl row, which is where I started the area that will be visible. Up until the pearl row, you just fold back the hem. And I am thinking that I go back until the pearl row, and then I hold my yarn double and try this again to see. I mean, I'm gonna go and do a little swatch to see how much more visible the pattern becomes if I hold the yarn double. And maybe I size up a needle size. Right now I am actually still below the recommended needle size. I think I'm doing it 275 and the recommended is 3. But my gauge was a little bit off. So I'm thinking if I double the yarn and go up a needle size, I'm gonna be right on gauge, and probably my pattern will look a lot better and becomes a lot more visible. Right now, as I said, it looks like incy wincy teeny tiny, and I don't think I like it. So I am about to do the version where I hold the yarn double. Let me see how it looks and how thicker that is. I can still keep the hem and fold it back, it does not matter. And I will try this again holding the yarn double, hoping to have like the pattern a little bit more popping and my stitches being a little bit thicker. I think it's gonna look a lot better. So that's my plan, that I frog this until the pearl row, then I restart with the yarn held double, and I hope that will work out. So yeah, I was hoping that I finish the whole 26th row and repeat, and then I will decide if the pattern is visible enough. But now I know that it's just like looking too thin, and I don't think I like it. Other than I am not doing a split hem, I made one more modification sort of, which is my needle size. I had to go down a needle size, and I am using BC Garn Bio Shetland yarn in, I think, colorway 66 and 41. I'm doing the pink as the main color and the gray as the color work color. The recommended yarn was I think Jamisones of Shetland, but I had the Bio Shetland in my shop, and my cousin picked these two colors for herself. I do believe that this yarn is actually thinner. I never worked with Jamisones of Shetland, but the content of the yarn I think is the same, other than this one is actually organic and half the price. I think this is, as I said, a little bit thinner, so I think holding the yarn double will get me closer to the Jamisones of Shetland thickness. However, I don't know, so if you worked with both of these yarns, let me know if the Bio Shetland is actually a thinner yarn than the Jamisones of Shetland or not. But I am using these two colors, and I still like the color combination. Last week I was a little bit worried that the gray won't show, but I think if I'm gonna double the yarn, the gray will show up a lot better. And this is the back. I didn't catch any of my floats yet, so I think I'm not going to do that. This is how the back is going to look like. So for next week, I think I'm gonna have this frog back to the pearl row and repeat by holding the yarn double, and I'm hoping to finish one 26 row repeat, so you can actually see the pattern and see whether or not you like that version better. I will take a photo, a close-up photo of this, how this looks like right now, if I can like pin it out, so we can see how much is the pattern visible. But I think it's just not visible enough, definitely not visible as much as in this photograph up here, no matter what I do right now holding the yarn single. So I am gonna redo this. So yes, these are the only two works in progresses that you had seen last week, and I actually have two new cast-ons this week. One is to no surprise because I said that 2 weeks ago, as I was sitting here in my sort of dusty pink tippy top, I realized that I should cast on Camisole No. 9 by My Favorite Things Knitwear, and that is actually what I did. I really said that I will buy the pattern as soon as I'm done with recording my video, which is basically what I did. And I did cast on the Camisole No. 9. That will take me to my acquisitions at the end, but one of the acquisition was the yarn that I'm using. I am using Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in soft blue colorway, which is one of the recommended yarn for this top. And I ordered it directly from Knitting from Olive. It's called soft blue. I don't know how much the blue comes up. It is really gray, but it is gray with a blue hint. And I am knitting it. I'm knitting the second size for myself. So I needed 3 balls of this yarn, which I thought was very affordable, as this is 100% silk yarn that I actually didn't have in my shop. I don't have any silk yarn currently in my shop. I am planning on having a silk yarn in my shop, so at least I will be able to compare how does that compare to the Knitting for Olive silk yarn that is so popular and people love so much. So that is actually great that I have this yarn. I know this is really popular. And so now about the pattern. I guess many people knitted this pattern. It looks really weird right now, but this is the front. I did the front straps and the neckline, and I'm a couple rows off of finishing increases for the front, and soon I will have to break my yarn and begin the back. So as of now, I don't think it's gonna show too much, but this is relatively small looking, although I created a gauge swatch, so it will block out a little bit to be longer. And I know it looks teeny tiny, but if you compare it to my beautiful tippy top, I am actually not too far off of joining in around. As you see, this kind of hits me under my armpit, where this top actually is joining in around, sort of. So I am not too far off, if you think about that. I don't want to stretch it too much because I don't want to have the stitches come off of the needle, but if you're familiar with the pattern, it is a top-down construction, and as I said, I started with one of the sort of right or left, I think I started with the left strap. Then you needed to do the right strap, join in, cast on extra stitches, and start doing your increases for the body. So although this looks really, really small, I actually gauge swatched and twice because my gauge swatch with the recommended needle size of 3 millimeters came up a little bit too big. So I went down to 2.75, and after blocking with 2.75, I am right on stitch gauge. I'm gonna check my row gauge. That might be a little bit too tight. So I'm just gonna see if I have to add a couple of extra rounds after I am about to join in a round, or am I okay? So I do believe that I will actually connect the back and the front on the strap, so I can kind of try that on and pull it down a little bit to see whether or not I'm okay joining in a round, or I need to add a couple of extra rounds to the back and the front after finishing my increases. And so far the pattern is really simple, and the yarn is relatively easy to work with, although it splits a little bit, and I think I have like one little strand that I found that I didn't fully pick up. It's right here somewhere. It doesn't bother me right now, but I would have gone back, but I realized that too late. Other than that, I think the stitches look really beautiful. This is unblocked, but actually before I join in around, I may block it to see if I like the length and the width. But so far, as I said, this is a very simple construction, and this is how far I got. And as working with the yarn, I don't know, many people complain about cotton yarns. I don't really hear much complaint about silk yarn. I think this is really pleasant for the touch. I still like the color. I would have loved it if it comes a little bit more blue. As I said, it's supposed to be soft blue, and it's very gray, but like with a blue hint. So yeah, I like the color, but I wish it was a little bit more blue. So this is a work in progress. Since I'm filming 2 weeks from now on, I am hoping to make sufficient amount of progress. I think I cast this on yesterday, so I'm about to be done with the front part in like a few rows, and then I do the back. Same thing basically for the back. I guess it's not this deep of a cut because this is the front neckline, and then I can just join it around. I do believe I will finish the neckline before I knit the body. I think I'm gonna join in around, or about to join in around. I am going to block it, and then after that I add the color, which I heard is a little bit of a sort of slow work, but I kind of like to do that to see if everything is okay before I go any further. But as I said, I love this. Very easy construction. The pattern is absolutely clear. There is no ambiguity in what to do or how to do it. So I can only highly recommend my favorite knitwear CAMISOLE No. 9 pattern to anyone. And I think it's a really popular top, so I'm pretty sure everyone already knitted it or heard about it. I'm kind of late to join the party on that one. And I have one more cast on, which is not very exciting, and the progress on it won't be exciting at all. And that's also again leads to my other acquisition. So I decided to knit a blanket using drops alpaca, brushed alpaca silk yarn in these two colorways. I think this is color 21 and this is color 35. I think it is pearl gray and sage green, and I think they are beautiful. So I have knitted this sort of blanket already 3 times before. If you have seen my previous podcasts, this blanket is actually one of the reasons I have a yarn shop. I was knitting a blanket for my sister for Christmas, I think last year, and or no, actually year before. No, last year, sorry. I was knitting a blanket for my sister last year, and I realized I have to order all this beautiful yarn from Europe, and it took so long to get here, and then I didn't have enough yarn, and then it was too close to Christmas. But too close to Christmas, they delivered it like 4 or 5 weeks from Europe, although the delivery time is normally faster. So I was just like, why do I need to order the good yarns from Europe? And that's what led me to actually have my own yarn shop with beautiful European yarn available here in the US. Drops yarn is not one of them, but I have other really beautiful yarns. But since I like this blanket a lot, I decided to make it with Drops brushed alpaca silk. So I was able to order, I think 27 balls of the green one and 10 balls of the gray one from one seller. And that is exactly what I will need for the blanket. That is a 50 inches by 60 inches blanket. I will show you how far I got. I'm keeping it in this bag now for now on, but it will grow out of this bag really quickly. And this is, as I said, a gift knit, but the person who's getting it is not watching this show, so it's a very safe thing to show. And the way I do it is, I don't know how much it fits into this. I actually don't know what the needle size I'm using. This is what I used for my other 3 blankets, but I'm gonna measure. It's really teeny tiny. I think it's a 2mm, but I'm gonna pop it up on the screen. And so it's really crinkled up and like sort of meshed up. I can pull it a little bit, but as I said, it's about 50 inches. I think I have, yeah, 50 inches. And the way it works is that I have, I think 75 stitches here and 225 stitches on the green. I think that's how I did it. Yeah. So yeah, 75 and 200, I think 225. Yeah, 225. So this is 1/4 of the piece and 3/4 of the piece is green. And 1/4 is this beautiful pearl gray. And I am using moss stitch throughout. And I really like the way it looks. That's where it meets. I have to kind of block out the bottom a little bit, but, and this is the back. And the idea was, and this is like a lot of stitches, 300 stitches, and it takes a long time to make a row. And so yeah, this is definitely a labor of love when you do a blanket like that, but I think it looks beautiful. And all my blankets are really warm. My experience with them is that after you wash it, which you don't really have to do a lot, as you don't really wash wool that often, you can just air it out, which is really nice. But if you wash it, it felts a little bit, which only makes the blanket even more beautiful, if you ask me. The stitches are not that visible, just only if you're looking close enough. But I think it's really nice, and I love the 2 colors together. So my plan is to add an inch a day. I'm sorry, yes, an inch a day. And I figured out that exactly 10 rows makes an inch. So it will take me 60 days to knit this. And here is my tiny little progress keeper, which is one of my Fielder sort of stitch markers that is available in my shop. It's kind of cute, but very simple. And right now, this is 4 inches, which is what I made in the last 4 days. And today I made this much progress on my inch. I only did 4 rows and I need to make 6 more to make the inch. So today I will reach 5 inches by the end of the day. So I will need 55 more days to finish the blanket, which is plenty time, because it's gonna be, by the time, hopefully cold enough that the blanket is needed. And until that, it's not cold enough. So this is my sort of mindless project, because I really don't have to like look at it much. I'm holding the yarn double, as you can see, so I kind of have to pay attention not to drop one of the yarn. I think it looks really nice, and the gray is like a little bit marled. You can kind of see it's like grayish beigey, and obviously the green is a little bit marled too, but not as much. So it's just like green with a little bit of white speckles, or sort of white speckles in it. So that's the blanket I'm working on. It goes back into this bag. And hopefully I can keep up the inch thing. That's what I did with all the other blankets, and it worked really much fine. I work on it usually when I wake up and before bedtime, I guess. If I don't finish it in the morning, I can kind of knit this really fast, so that's nice. But yes, it still takes the time to knit 300 stitches 10 times. So that's 3,000 stitches a day just to work on the blanket and just to get an inch, and you have to do that for 60 days, but yes. It's a gift knit, so I am really happy to do that, and I love to make these blankets anyways. So that was one of my acquisitions, as I said, 10 of the pearl gray and 27 of this. And I think I nearly made 4 inches of progress with the green, which means that I'm not gonna need all 27 balls, nor will I need all 10 balls of the gray. So I am thinking to add actually 1 or 2 pillowcases to the blanket. That would really look nice. If I add 2, I'm gonna make one bigger one smaller one in size, because I don't like perfectly symmetrical things. So I think the pillow should be one bigger, one smaller. That's just the way I like it in one corner, as opposed to 2 of the same size pillows and 2 corners. It's just too plain for me. So if I have enough yarn, which I might, I add the pillows, or I'm thinking to order a couple more balls just to make sure that I can add the pillows. So I'm gonna go finish, I think, this week's progress, make sure how much yarn I will have left. Sometimes one of the balls can be longer than the other, so I'm trying to finish that about 2 weeks progress, or like, I guess, let's say 10-12 inches, to make sure how much balls will I have left. And then I think I'm gonna order just as much as I need. I had to make sure all of them are for 1 dye lot, because for my other 3 blankets I ordered for each of them from different sellers until I figured out exactly how many balls I need. And I also didn't realize that the dye lights can change very much. So all my blankets are a tiny bit stripy. This one gonna be the only one that is exactly the same dye lot, so this one gonna be perfect. So I have to make sure that also I have the same dye lot for my pillows. So I'm gonna act quickly to make sure that the dye lot is still available from the same seller. So I guess maybe I don't wait more than 10 inches. I will quickly know if I have enough yarn or not. And so I have that acquisition, and as I mentioned, when I casted on this camisole number 9, I had to order the yarn from Knitting for Olive, because I did not have this yarn or a yarn or a silk yarn in my shop. And when I did that, I decided to try out the Knitting for Olive yarn. Although, as you see, I have a yarn shop, I still like different kind of yarns, and I do use other people's yarns, not only mine. Yes, so, and I actually reached out to Knitting for Olive to get some samples to consider them to having them in my shop, but as of now I believe they only have distributors who also have a physical store, and I do not have a physical store. My store is strictly online, so that's the reason I think I don't have Knitting for Olive in my shop, because as of now it's not available for strictly online sellers. Nevertheless, I love the yarn colors, as everyone is talking about the beautiful colors, so I decided to order a couple of different things for me. So as you see, I'm knitting for Olive. I'm knitting the camisole number 9 using the silk yarn in this beautiful soft blue colorway for myself. And I decided to knit the very same top for my sister and my cousin, so we can all match. My sister picked Knitting for Olive pure silk in putty, and my cousin picked it in wheat. So I ordered the proper amount for each of them for the right size, and this is me. So this is us, the 3 of us, when we all gonna wear our camisole number 9. So you will see 2 more camisole number 9s coming up soon, because this has to be done quickly. But I think we picked beautiful colorways, so I'm very happy. So I ordered that. Part of the reason why I decided to order other things as well, other than this 3 sort of camisole number 9 worth yarn, is that when you have your first order, they ship it for free, which is really nice. So I decided to try their cotton merino in this elephant blue colorway. As I said, I'm in my blue phase, so soft blue, elephant blue, and another blue coming up, and I get it. I think in the spring, in the fall, I'm still this greenish blue / red phase. I don't know, but yes, I realized that for me right now it's a blue phase, and I'm knitting for other people with other color, but yes, I duly noted it that I'm in my blue phase. So I tried this, I ordered enough cotton merino. I ordered, I believe, 6 balls of this, which is a sweater quantity for me. And I am going to use this for one of my winter designs. I haven't decided which one yet. I'm gonna knit it up from this. I don't have a specific plan for it just yet. So this might be early fall or next spring. Not 100% sure because I really didn't finalize it yet. But I love this elephant blue colorway. It is really like in the picture, like it's a grayish blue color. And I wanted to try out their merino. Although I have a merino in my shop right now from Filder, I decided I want to see the difference between that and the Knitting for Olive merino. I just want to know. So I ordered it in the Dusty Petroleum blue colorway. As I said, my blue phase. I ordered 6, which is a sweater quantity for me. I'm not talking about a very oversized sweater, more like a fitted sweater or a cropped sweater quantity for me. I'm absolutely happy with this color as well. Don't know yet exactly the design, but I think this will be coming this fall and this is probably spring. I have sort of a better idea for this one, but still nothing really finalized or anything. So I'm gonna use this yarn to knit that up, and I'm gonna use either the Filder merino yarn to knit a second sample or the organic, I believe it is CAMISOLE wool merino, but I'm gonna pop it up here, that I am about to have in my shop. I'm ordering that with my next order. So, or I'm actually gonna make it in all 3 and see the difference in terms of feel, in terms of thickness and all. So I might just make 3 samples of that, and probably one for my sister and one for my cousin and this one for me. Yes, so I ordered the merino just to see how it compares with other merinos on the market. So yeah, very happy with the color. And I have to say, they really have beautiful colorways. I mean, these 2 are just very specific blues, obviously. So these you will see later, and these coming up right after my CAMISOLE number 9 because I'm working on them in a row. So I guess this is it for today. So as you see, as I said, I'm probably going to finish my mesh sweater by Polar Strict by next week. By my next podcast, which is in 2 weeks. I definitely am going to make a lot of progress on this as it knits up really fast. Although, as I said, the color may take a while, so that may be a little bit of setback in terms of time. But I'm definitely gonna join in around by next time and working on the body. This one I'm frogging until the purl row and give it another try with the yarn held double. And my blanket, I am adding 1 inch every single day, so there should be, I guess, 14 more inches if we count today or the next episode, whatever. So about 13 to 14 inches of progress on that blanket, and by that time I will know if I have enough for the pillows, so I may have extra acquisitions if I have to order yarn. And since these are since I will be finished with my mesh sweater and I will basically have the blanket as a sort of relaxing project and my color work and my CAMISOLE number 9, you may expect another cast on for my next episode. I like one of the summer tops by Polar Strict, so I'm thinking either that or I will show you one of my fall designs if that makes enough progress, or both. So you can expect definitely one or brand new things from me next week, most likely in a blue color way if it's me. Clearly blue colorway, bluish green or greenish blue or blue or green, but somewhere along those lines. So thank you, and I will see you in 2 weeks.